Ghetto Cowboy, Chapter 6. I take off my Pistons shirt and put on a white tee. I'm hungry, and he didn't even give me no food, so I guess I gotta fend for myself. But I'm looking through this fridge, and there ain't nothing in there, just beer, cheese, and a pizza that looks like it's from last year. I hope there's a McDonald's around here, 'cause I gots to eat. I'm about to head out when I remember I ain't got no money. Dag. Now what? That's when I see an envelope on the table with Harper written on it. It's Mama's handwriting. I open it. There's a note inside and money. Maybe $200. The note says, "This is all I got on me for now. Use it to feed Cole. I took care of him for 12 years. It's now up to you to help him find his way." I stare at that money for a good 20 minutes. That money could get me back home again, back to where I belong. But the way she talked about me when at the end of that note, it just makes me want to crawl into a hole and die. Why should I go back if she don't want me? Plus, she would just yell at me for stealing this money. Except it's not stealing, 'cause she said it was for taking care of me. When I got depressed, I eat. So I pocket $20. I gotta get some food in me. Then I can figure out what I'm gonna do. I step outside and look around. I see a bunch of girls on the sidewalk jumping rope. They stop and stare at me, so I just stare right back. But just past them is the two guys who was making fun of me before, sitting on a stoop and jawing away, so I turn around and walk down the block the other way. This neighborhood is just like ours in Detroit, only the buildings is older row houses made of brick. Some is closed up and vacant, covered in graffiti. Others got bars on the windows. I put on my mad dog face so nobody will mess with me. I just gotta follow the rules of the street. Rule 1, keep your head down. Rule 2, always keep moving. Hey! Someone calls out from behind me. I ignore him like I didn't hear. Hey! I hear footsteps coming up fast. I think of running, but that's rule 3, never run. I whip around and see the two guys looking at me. The tall one with cornrows is grinning. "What?" I yell. He gives me a look that says, "Don't be giving me attitude or I'll give you a beating." But I hold my ground. "You know who I am?" he says. I shake my head and look for a way out. His buddy, who's big and stocky like a linebacker, just stares at me. The tall guy takes a pretend swing at me, and I flinch. He laughs. "Tough guy from Motown. I'm your cousin Smush." "Smush? I don't know no cousin Smush." He rolls his eyes. "On your daddy's side. You're Uncle Harp's boy, right? That mean we're related, 'cause which is good for you. Otherwise, I'd have to have Snapper here put out a Chester Avenue welcome for you. And you don't want that." Snapper looks disappointed. He knocks me in the shoulder, but friendly-like. "Didn't mean to give you a hard time in front of your moms." Smush giggles. "Oh, yes, you did. Don't lie." Snapper smiles a little and shrugs. "Your mom's really just dumped you off and left you? That's cold." Smush puts his arm around me. He tall, so my head's just under his arm. "Listen, if you stay in here, you gotta know the lay of the land. Where are you off to? The stables?" I give him a look. "Stables? I ain't no ghetto cowboy." That cracks them up. "Oh, dang," says Smush. "Did you hear that? Better not let your daddy hear you talking that way." "I don't care. He ain't my daddy. I never seen him before, and he don't want me here, which is fine by me." I turn and start walking. "Yo, cuz, wait up. You don't want to be going that way. You might get yourself shot." I stop. "I ain't afraid. 'Cause you don't get it. Here in Chester Avenue, We in the safe zone, on account of the horses. The gangbangers leave this block alone, out of respect, you know? Plus your daddy don't put up with none of them. Believe me, I know. He rubs his butt like it's been kicked one too many times. Snapper shakes his head. Shorty, you go out there. A few blocks either way, it's a war zone. You got to watch your back. Know what I'm saying? Smush nods. Yeah, you fresh meat around here. Around here, cuz. So you better go see your daddy. He at the stable over there. I look down the street and see a bunch of run-down garages across from a vacant lot with some homemade buildings and fences and stuff. There's a few kids washing horses on the sidewalk. What kind of place is this? Smush and Snapper laugh. You'll get used to it. Horses always been here. Whatever. I don't feel like going into a war zone, so I start walking to the stable. I walk slowly past the kids washing the horses. They younger than me, maybe even 7 or 8. They all frontin' and boastin' about racing and stuff. I'm gonna be the next to fly down the speedway, says the smallest one. The oldest one laughs. You gotta learn to ride first. You can't even stay on Daisy. The middle one drops his hose in a bucket. Harp say he gonna get me a thoroughbred over at New Holland. Then I'm gonna leave you fools in the dirt. They all laugh. I try to joke with them. Where I come from, kids wash cars. They stop laughing and look at me. The oldest one says, You want to help? Harp will let you ride if you help out with the horses. I wave him off. Nah, I ain't staying. And I ain't riding no dang horse. What you thinking riding a horse in the city? I already seen one get hit by a car and I just got here. They look at each other like I don't know what I'm talking about and just start yapping about racing horses again. I look up and see a whole row of sneakers hanging from the telephone wire overhead. That's exactly how I feel. Hung out to dry.